Hello friends, welcome to Astro Vishakha Astrology channel. Have you ever felt that while driving a car, your one foot is on the the petrol or gas? How much is it's like it's very smaller amount is there, but at the same time, your other leg is on basically on the brake, so that you are trying to find a vision where you want to fly, but something, the destiny or timing or sheer hard work keeps you pulling on the earth. You feel you've been mature as you born. You feel that you've been holding a lot of weight or a storage on your shoulder as soon as you born. You feel very responsible at a very early age, and you also been very kind enough and caring enough for others. So this is a is this is a really a blessing of a status, or it's a blessing of something you are getting, or it's a cage of responsibility. We need to find out that. So today we're going to discuss about Jupiter and Saturn conjunction. So my name is Suhas, and we'll discuss on these forces, how going to engage in your life, especially who is having Jupiter and Saturn as a conjunction in their in their chart. They will see that, experience it, and they will obviously comment if you feel something which is really resonate with you. So what is Jupiter? Jupiter is Jeeva. Jupiter is hold on, yeah. Jupiter is Jeeva. And what is Saturn? Saturn is a karma. So when Jeeva has born, he come with a responsibility, especially with the karmic responsibility come. And in old timers, or basically yoga is considered, one is like a dharma. Jupiter is like a dharma. He is following the righteousness, moral. Whereas karma is of Saturn, which talks about you are getting the heavyweight work in or responsibilities in life, and you need to follow it whole life. So this is what a Jupiter and Saturn combination works. So Jupiter is like a life force. It represents your oxygen. It also in your lungs, and also give a lot of clarity to mind. Jupiter also talks about divine grace. There is a blessing on you or not. God is with you or not. Jupiter talks about that. Jupiter brings luck. Jupiter brings growth. Jupiter brings expansion. Jupiter is a happiness in your life. Jupiter is a sukha. Jupiter is a dharma. Jupiter is righteousness. Jupiter is morality. So there are so many things Jupiter is aligned. We are been living as a human being, all are been as a blessing of Jupiter. So if you are doing good, if you are well respected, if you are well reputed, if you have a good moral compass, you have a good Jupiter. Now let's talk about what is Saturn all about. Saturn is exactly opposite. Saturn is karma. Saturn doesn't understand caring, doesn't understand what you want in life. Saturn says this is your task and you have to finish. Saturn represents your time, how much life you're gonna live. Saturn represents Kal. Saturn doesn't wait for anyone. Saturn is a judgmental. Saturn is very critic on your work. If you are doing a good karma, then it is good. If it is a bad karma, it is considered as a bad. So what happens is that it also creates a lot of delays in your life. Saturn brings a lot of delays. Saturn brings a lot of hard work. Saturn brings a lot of blockages. And if any deficit in your life is, it's with the Saturn. It's like a slum. It's poor, dark corners, the restrictions in your life, the rules and regulations in your lives. All judge or attorneys and all law-abiding people who are following those laws and they are practicing the law, they will wear the black color because Saturn is judge. He's gonna balance the entire. He's not deciding you are good or bad. He will decide basis on the what are the uh, what kind of evidences you're providing. What is evidence? Evidence is your karma, what karma you've done. And that is what when Saturn will judge you every second, every millisecond. And Saturn also a slow death. And Saturn also shows about the detachment from your desire. So Saturn is very important because we want to grow, but we also understand we have a really limited time in which you have to achieve all desires. This is a small life, but this is a very exciting life. So imagine what when they combine. Jupiter is providing the wisdom, Jupiter is providing you a knowledge, wisdom, and Jupiter talks about giving a great advice. When Saturn demands work, Jupiter will give exact good advice to him so that he will remain on his moral compass will always remain in a good. So what I am talking about, a person who follows full life dharma or righteousness to ensure that his karmas are pure, and the person who is doing a good karma will always be guided by divine of dharma. So that is the reason it's called Dharma Karmadhipati Yoga. So one is professor and other one is a disciple. The professor always, like Jupiter, will always keep giving guiding you, don't do this, do this. He's giving you the moral lecture every moment. This is not a right karma, this is wrong karma. He's guiding you. He's not going to take decision in your life, but his guidance whole life is something in your karma will always remain in good condition. So Saturn and Jupiter, if they are in trine, they are together, they are aspecting each other, you will have a great karma. You will do great karma, and not only for yourself, for others as well. And you get a knowledge, but through the fire of experience. See, the Jupiter and Saturn together, the person will struggle in primary life, first half of life till 30-35. He will struggle a lot, but at the second phase of life he'll start getting the fruits of the good karmas he had in the first half in life, and then he will really experience. Saturn delays it, but Saturn when give it gives very solid. And what is solid? When you have a Jupiter with you, he will give results, and the fruits are extremely good if your good karmas are there. So, what is the lesson we should learn? What lesson, what soul has bring in this life, in and to learn from this? So, combination of dharma karma adhipati yoga is also suggests that your past life, you're either a great work which is unfinished, so you are run away from your work, and now the Saturn is attached to your Jeeva, or your ensuring that you not only complete the work, but also ensure you are experience the fruit of work. And now that needs to be anchored in the reality, and that is where this life becomes. You might feel sometimes this life is really heavy to manage, yet you are going to handle it because the God has given you a professor along with the karma, that is Jupiter. Now I understood, okay, this is my contract. I signed up with God and saying, okay, I will do this and I will follow this. But what exactly is going to be my purpose in this life? So here you are going to bridge the gap between the spiritual and the material world. You will follow the spirituality in your karmic work, and you will follow a discipline in your spiritual work. So understood why I'm trying to give a difference. When I'm seeing in your karma remains very spiritual, means Jupiter is guiding you in a spiritual format. When it goes exactly opposite, when you are following a spiritual path, Saturn gives you the discipline. So if you follow both, they will give enormous and excellent result in your life, and you are bound to create your legacy. The conflict is there. They might feel a constant tug of war between a wanting the resources, the desire you are having to the spiritual path, but also needing to master your career as well. So there is always a confusion whether I'll go behind my knowledge or go behind my karma, which I want to achieve in life. So that tug of war always whole life you're going. But eventually you understand Jupiter is, if Jupiter is stronger in your chart, you will obviously eventually will end up towards going towards learning or uh, getting the higher wisdom whole life. And if the Saturn is strong, Jupiter is little weak, you obviously have a focus on your karma, your career, and that is where you are focused. But eventually, one thing is there: Dharma Karma Adhipati Yoga is explaining that the person will reach a king's place, you ensuring that he's experience all the materialistic life. At the same time, he will be detached from the success, he will detach from the achievement, and he will always want to help others. So that is where he is a combination of a materialistic king, or having the material prosperous king, but with a spiritual mind, a yogi mind. Now let's talk about what is the health about it, of this combination. What is the health we are talking about? This is a what when you talk about health, there is a Jupiter very connectly, in fact, giving you organ where focus is your weight, your your liver, your, and obviously if there is a joints are there, then it comes with the Saturn. Saturn talks about blockages, and these combination can create some challenges in your life. This combination requires movement to prevent the Saturn's lethargy and from stagnating Jupiter's vitality. So these are two important things in your life as far as health is concerned. Saturn Jupiter is this combination. Now let's talk about, I think the most favorite part is about having each houses. What is the experience of each houses we get when if you have a Saturn Jupiter combination? So let's start with the first house. Now, first house, your personality, your health, yourself, your identity, and personality wise, it is wise beyond years, because Jupiter coming and sitting on your head is gonna make you a lot of wise. He's giving you a lot of knowledge. But crisis is obsessed with self-image, needs to manage a heavy and serious aura. You always look like a very mature person when Saturn Jupiter comes in your head. While you are a great knowledge storer, you store a lot of knowledge, but it is like you will be looked like a very matured person. Second house, the wealth come from the traditional or slow means. The wealth will be coming. Eventually, it will obviously come, but it will be initially slow. Conflict between the family values and harsh financial realities. That is really truth, because your finance is, you know, the challenges, whereas the family values also come, because Jupiter is like he's trying to follow the society. He's follow the norms what others are doing, and Jupiter is very focused on that. Saturn sluggishes your finance, so you are in a dilemma whole life, how to be manage my finances. I should not go in a bad path, I should not do some bad karma. And that is where the second house Jupiter Saturn combination creates this conflict and constant challenges between the family values and the finances. Third house, you're a serious communicator, you are a very knowledgeable person, you have a very strong teacher's voice. You start talking about, people will love to hear you, because you are coming with an experience of Saturn. You already gone through a lot of blockages, challenges, delays, and you know how you earned your knowledge, and you earned it. It's not someone is given you freely. It is your own efforts. You are putting a lot of efforts to look every information, giving your life experiences to people, inspire others. That is where you do. But the crisis is struggle. Struggle will always there, because it's a third house is always want to have a struggle, and sometimes challenges comes with sibling. Yet Jupiter is there, it is not go really bad, but always there is a mental anxiety about every small detail you will be looking for, because you are building your skill, you are mastering your skill whole life. So when Jupiter and Saturn comes, one gives obsession, other makes disciplined activity. So small thing also you don't want to lose. So if someone is watching a YouTube or any video, someone will just watch as an entertainment, but others might be taking a Jupiter Saturn guy can sit with the paper and start writing if this is a point I really want to know. So these detailing can be done by Jupiter Saturn in third house. Fourth house is a disciplined home environment. Fourth house also give you a lot of peace of mind, but people are in the home are going to be very orthodox or traditional, and often delayed, and it's always they have an experience. The mother is going to give them life lessons, but very strict mother figure will be there, and property related burdens on your head, on your shoulders. Home related activities will be on your shoulders, and that is where you've been bit challenged to handle this crisis. Fifth house, you're serious about creativity, you're serious about your children, you want they to grow, you want your love life to be blooming, but with you want to give a really thorough efforts to ensure that your romantic life or kids life we should be good. And There is a obsession. See what happens. Jupiter goes, Jupiter creates attachment. There is enough enormous attachment to children, and with perfection one's legacy. Actually, Saturn coming there, it's creating a additional extra burden of karma for a child as well. And due to this, first is Saturn delay to giving child, and after giving child there is a certain karma which is you have to manage. And that is where fifth house Jupiter Saturn combination, but eventually it is good because Jupiter supports, is a supporter of growth, good thing of your life. So Jupiter coming is the Saturn's challenges might be delayed. So initially you have a lot of challenges, eventually you will have a stability. Your personal life may be initially going little turbulent, but eventually you will grow in that. So age matters. So as you grow, 30, 35, 40, nearing to 40, you will start experience the relief in life. Sixth house is the ultimate worker because Saturn itself is a place where he gets a significator for the sixth house. Saturn becomes very strong here. Jupiter is not good yet. Jupiter is giving you guidance how to manage your daily challenges, and health issues are obviously there. Avoid using leather items, and use Jupiter's wisdom to solve any problems in your life. And that's where you can have a sixth house Saturn Jupiter combination you can learn. Seventh house, it's a mature yet it's a very orthodox partner you may get, and relationship feels like a work or a duty because you want to, as I said, wherever the Saturn comes, you like it or dislike it, you have to be allowing yourself to give your time, space and efforts to ensure that that house remains in a peaceful condition. So someone's Saturn in uh, sixth house, you have a health challenges, you have to give a focus on your health. So how to improve it? You're focusing on health means you are doing exercise and all. The seventh house, obviously you have a partner and where you want to give is your support and all kind of things to, or help to your partner see that the things remain, the marital happiness remains good. So this is, and this is a, this is like a more of a responsibility. So when Saturn comes along with Jupiter, it's more talk about responsibility of romance. So it's responsibility of marital life. That is what the seventh house. And even in the business cars, you feel you are responsible to see that the business grows. Even if you have a partner, you still want, it is my primary responsibility, the business should grow, as if like you are been giving heart and soul and your efforts to this business. Eighth house, it's a very first of all, Saturn Jupiter coming together itself shows that combination or aspect or conjunction, or they are in trine, they will always show there is a kind of interest for occult astrology. The person already bringing enormous amount of knowledge and information through his imprint memory to practice the astrology or learn the astrology in this life. And Saturn goes in the eighth house, it shows your karma is connected with the transformation. You have to transform. There is no chance. Your career will get transformed. Your spiritual life is gonna get transformed. Your family life is also gonna transform. Your luxury or peace of mind is also going to go transform. So this is a transformation. Yes, there are some kind of inheritance related issues might come because Saturn try to block whatever it is or maybe delay to give you. And yes, that's about eighth house. Ninth house is like a dharma. It's a Jupiter is a guru's favorite place. It's Sagittarius natural chart. Ninth house considered to be a Sagittarius sign where dharma or moral values been taught, and you will have a guru with whom you are to learn things. But when comes Saturn comes in the ninth house, it also talks certain amount of conflict with gurus or your father figures, an obsession to be always right, that whatever, see Jupiter's habit is one thing is that he want to speak unwanted advice he will try to give, or Jupiter also want to give always advice because he's an advice giver. He loves giving advices. His advices are great, but don't force yourself on others to give advices. That's a bad thing. So don't dilute your Jupiter unless and people asked for, don't give your views on subject. So sometimes silence better than creating verbal karmas. 10th house, massive career potential. Anyway, there is an obsession for status, there's obsession for career growth and life you want to enjoy. But because Jupiter get little bit debilitated here, because it's a 10th house, natural zodiac becomes the Jupiter becomes debilitated, but that Jupiter still give you the growth because it's gone into the earth sign. And or earth sign, if it is there, then obviously there is a focus to accumulation and growing the career and rising in the status. So all that will become a there is a obsession about status and managing the fear of a public failure. That also tension always there, because Saturn talks about fear as well. Saturn is creating some amount of fear on specific thing. Wherever Saturn goes, he creates the fear of that house. So there is a 10th house Saturn, obviously he is going to create the fear of failure, fear of discredit, fear of insult. That's the challenge always there. 11th house, social circle will be always elders or some of the most influential people you will come. These people are going to help you. There is a frustration in the slogan. Yes, initially, as it's a Dharma Karmadhipati, Saturn becomes very strong here. Jupiter is widely okay, but still it is considered to be Saturn's favorite place. It's a Mool Trikona sign. Saturns give you a very strong influential circle, but or even the gains will be there, but they are coming later part of your life, because Jupiter will give expansive growth or expansive gain, but only after quite of a delay and a struggle. And that is where there is a conflict between the greed and giving is the challenge maximum people will understand. So in Upachaya house, third house, sixth house, or 11th house, when we look at it, it clearly indicates the 11th house is indicating to the greed of a person. And if the Saturn goes, your karma are aligned to create, and that is where and obviously it's a Upachaya house, that means it's gonna grow as you mature in life. That is where you need to handle this greed, and this is something you have to be very careful how much you need to be stopping. Anyway, a first desire finishing is great, but keep creating more and more desire, it's always a problem. 12th house is a spiritual hermit. You feel restricted because Saturn is want to restrict. And because Saturn goes here, he want you to be disciplined, but you are gonna love your God, you're gonna love your, you want to surrender your God. And this is a superb combination where someone is having attachment to the god, because Jupiter goes in the 12th house, it shows the attachment to the god, and the Saturn gives you the discipline to handle this attachment. So this combination, if someone really worked well, he can achieve a great spiritual path. So this is all about the 12 houses, how Jupiter and Saturn combination gives. I also want to give one remedy specifically for Jupiter, Saturn, if they are not giving a great results to you in your life and you've been struggling. So you still feel you're heavy and you are not able to get the right energies which will help you to align or grow in your life. So the service of wisdom on Saturday, find someone who is struggling with their education, or someone working on a very low key or very difficult job. Provide them with books, pain, and also teach them. If the poor children, take the poor children, help them, teach them. That's a good thing you will learn, because Jupiter and Saturn talks about giving a knowledge, giving a gyan to others. And if this you utilize the Saturn, go and help the poor and old people, and do some karma for them. Go and read some scripture for them, like example Mahabharata, or someone is having in the Bible or something. You go and read for others, and let after reading you read it and explain them what is the meaning of it for the old people who can't read and all, they have been very old. So in that situation, it's really you are utilizing the Jupiter and Saturn combination. So to finally to conclude, you have to, you born with this combination. You before you born, you ask for this combination, and so you got this combination. Now after getting the combination, you cannot deny it. So better you embrace the delay. It's not a denial for sure, it's a preparation for you to get the best of the best fruits in this life. If you find this video insightful, share your house placements in the comments. I will more than happy to respond. If you love my video, please give the like button. If you love my channel, do subscribe my channel. And yes, I am right now doing on some of the combination, planetary combination, and their experiences in our life, and what conflicts and what challenges and how it is going to inspire and how it's going to be obsessed us to go through this specific planetary combination. And obviously at the end of the video I always give one remedy. So hope you like my video. Thank you so much and have a great day.